Hello, my beautiful and wonderful people. You're welcome to my channel, a home of riches. My regard and my greetings to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe and thank you for subscribing. Today we are talking about something very real, very sensitive, and also very important: the effect of negative comments on people's posts. You know, we live in a world where social media is part of our everyday lives. People post, people share, and people comment. But sometimes those comments are not just words, they cut deep. They can push people into depression, self-doubt, and even, unfortunately, the worst you can ever hear. This conversation was inspired by a recent podcast where fashion designer Veekee James and her husband Femi sat down with Nancy. Veekee opened up about how harsh online words once pushed her to lock herself up in her room for 2 whole days. That's heavy, and it brings us back to the bigger question: how much power do negative comments hold? So let's start with Veekee. She's not just a big name in fashion, she's also someone who has built a brand that people respect. But with fame comes attention, and not all attention is positive. On the podcast, she shared how trolling got her so bad that she became depressed. Imagine building something you are proud of, then logging online and seeing strangers tear you apart with comments. Some would say ignore them, but let's be honest, ignoring constant negativity isn't easy. Vicky says she got so overwhelmed that she, locked herself in room for 2 days straight. Now think about that. A strong, successful woman reduced to isolation because of words typed by faceless account. It shows you how powerful trolling can be.
There was one that really hit me, and I think it was a story about how I stole him from a friend and we're sleeping with each other. This is happening, and so many of them were all lies, and it almost put me in depression. And that was like the first time in my life I got to understand what people who say that they are depressed feel. I remember entering into my room and I didn't come out for like 2 days. I was there crying and praying, and I told God, you know the story. If you know that these are all lies that they're saying about us, help us get through this without this ruining my brand. Yeah. And I remember praying and waiting on God for days.
This isn't just about Vicky. We have seen the triple effect of trolling across many lives. Take, for example, the Bib of Fit Nelo, the TikTok dancer and influencer. She lost her life during tummy tuck procedure, but part of the reason she even went for that surgery was because of online bullying she faced. People were constantly mocking her body, making her feel like she wasn't enough. That's the scary part of online comments. They don't just exist on screen. They, influence decisions in real life. Some people start surgeries, some fall into depression, some lose confidence, and sadly, some don't even survive it. Though Vicky's husband has different attitude to online trolls. Like he said, he doesn't care about what people say, and he has advised the wife not to read comments. But not everybody can really, ignore.
I see myself in the face of people, normal, but I can tell you for a fact, I'm a BTS person.
Right.
Yeah. You get behind the scene.
Right.
Yeah, you might see my wife all out because that's who she is. That's the type of person she is.
Yes.
So I am just the reserved part, and I'm always behind her, 100. So whatever anybody says online doesn't really bother me. That's just honest truth. Yeah, it doesn't.
Do you guys have to walk through it?
It doesn't really bother me.
But there might have to be a walk through it before you got to that point of it not bothering you, because it's a shock.
Let's also talk about Mercy Johnson, one of Nollywood finest. Mercy has been through countless times, sometimes for her roles, sometimes for her body. Remember that time she had that drastic weight loss? Social media had a field day talking about her. Now, Mercy is strong. She has that personality of brushing things off, moving forward, and not giving through the satisfaction of a reaction. But here is the question. Just because she doesn't react, does it mean she's not affected? We don't know. Mental health is tricky. What you see on the outside is not always what is happening inside. It's possible that behind the smiles, there are scars. That's why we shouldn't be quick to assume celebrities are immune to pain just because they are famous. Let's even pause and ask, why do people troll? Why do people sit behind phones and computers and pour out negativity on strangers? Some do it out of jealousy. Some are just unhappy with their own life and project that bitterness on others. Some just want attention. But whatever the reason, the damage is real. What sticks? You can delete a comment from the screen, but you cannot delete it from somebody's mind. Those little jabs, those so-called funny comments can lead to someone crying all night or worse still, making dangerous decisions. Now let's bring it back to Vicky. Javi. One thing that stood out in that podcast was how much support she gave from her husband Femi. Behind every strong woman is often a strong support system, and Femi has been just that. He hasn't only stood by her emotionally, but he has also built something solid for himself. Right now, he's setting up a sports talk studio. That's huge. It shows how that even in the face of challenges, they are building together, and that's inspiring. Sometimes what gets people through tough times isn't strength alone, it's having someone who says, I have got you. You are not alone.
Latest host in town. Took his latest host. What's up now? One nigga.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the fourth episode of Peller And Javis. So now that you support us now, what position do you think Arsenal finish next season?
First position, of course.
This is Femi Atere. Welcome to Femi Talk Sport. Let's talk sport.
So let's take some comments on this.
Veekee James and her husband. Now I want you to do example today. I remember when these people started doing content. They started doing content. A lot of people were castigating them. You know, they'll say, you're not supposed to do like this. Does the guy not have direction? Does he not have purpose in life? What is his mission in life? Can you imagine? The husband, he does it like say, he no get safe for the marriage. People were having all sorts of opinions. See, Baba, public opinion sometimes, it change your view.
Veekee James' story is a reminder that even the strongest people can break. You know, everyone is fighting battles we can't see, so let's be kind. Let's talk about something that's making waves online, the relationship between TikToker Peller and his girlfriend Javis. Now, a lot of people are talking because in a recent clip, things look, well, not so smooth. We saw Peller pushing Javis into a car, and Javis, on the other hand, wasn't exactly quiet. She gave back the same kind of energy. To many viewers, it came across like there is traces of violence in their relationship.
Enter here. Why? You get why? Enter here. Who will be most of us? Enter here. In the match. You want Wale?
And of course, the internet reacted. People started dropping comments, asking questions and raising concerns. Some were worried, some were criticizing, and others just wanted gist. But here is where it gets interesting. Peller and Javi both, came out and reacted to the reactions. Peller said clearly, I can't hit a woman. That's his stand.
Hello, everybody. I'm here to address this issue. Let me tell you something. Why you people that always record? Why don't you record? And even your caption, a rubbish caption. We are in the midst of Agbero. We go for Sherry 5 concerts. Agbero, those people, they're not friendly. They want to do us a fool, and I'm trying to protect her. Me, let me tell you, that people I touch her like this. As you say now, normal people say, as I do her like this, maybe you do me back and everything. But you don't do me back. It's a woman. I want you to don't know that. I can never do such a thing.
Meanwhile, Javi said, I'm not a child not to know when to quit. I just hope Peller will change.
Advise your family. I'm not going to hide under the fact that I'll say I'm a small girl, but at least I am old enough to take on my responsibilities and know what I want. I know what I want. Now, if I give this directive that Peller is beating me, are you okay? I be small picking. I don't know. Maybe you are using Peller's kind of eye to be looking at me. But hey, you, I'm a small girl, but I'm not a child. And if a man beats me or he's beating me, and this is not in 1960 whereby maybe they'll say one woman marry and the husband is beating her. Don't tell the lady, don't leave your marriage, stay there and protect. What?
Now, let's unpack that. First, relationships are private. But when you are a public figure or you put your relationship out there on social media, people will always have opinion. That's just the reality. Second, no matter how much love is involved, once people start noticing aggression, pushing or harsh energy, it becomes a red flag. Because today is a shove, tomorrow, it could escalate into something worse. From Peller's side, he is saying he cannot hit a woman, and that's good to hear. But action speaks louder than words. And from Javi's side, her statement shows that she is aware of the situation. She's not blind to what's happening. She says she hopes he will change. That is, she's already sees something that needs to be changed. The truth is, many couples go through ups and downs. But once violence, whether physical or emotional, starts coming into play, it's no longer just ups and downs. It becomes something serious that needs addressing. So here is my take. Peller and Javi may love each other, but they need to sit down and really talk about their relationship, because energy like that, especially when the whole world is watching, can destroy them if they don't handle it right. And for viewers, let's remember not to normalize aggression in relationship, no matter how small it looks. At the end of the day, a relationship should bring peace, not constant battles. We, just hope they find a way of resolving things without letting it escalate further. That's today's gist, my people. What do you think? Do you believe Peller when he say he cannot hit a woman? Or do you feel Javis' side of the story says a lot more? Let's talk in the comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And as we come to the end of this video, kindly subscribe to my channel. Like, share, and leave your comment in the comment section. I will see you in my next video. But before then, don't forget to stay safe, remain kind, and mind your mental health. Bye, and remain blessed.